everybody. So, my name is Nick, and I'm a self taught iOS developer. And today, I want to show you how to make an iOS application. This is going to be really cool. So, today, like never before, we are able to take things that we think about and put them into the real world. So, I don't know if if you're like me, but when I leave the house without my phone, I instantly know. I'll go to make a call, send a text message, something, and it'll remind me, oh, I left my phone. The really cool thing is people all across the world are basically tied to their phones. I just did a quick Google search. Um, you got some people saying that it's on average of 88. The younger generation is on average of 88 hours. Um, you got some statistics where it says, so this is the number of app downloads, and this is back in 2017. So imagine what it is today. So pretty much everybody is using their phone and everybody downloads apps. So the cool thing is you have the ability to now leverage that market of over 178 billion people, and now you can join and produce products or produce things that those 170 and be one of the 178 billion downloads. Again, that's just if one person downloads your app. But so today, let's just work through it. But before we get to that, again, I'm a brand new YouTuber. I'm going to be making content every week. So you want to subscribe, you want to hit the bell button, just because I'm going to start walking through the process of building out apps. So I'm going to break down every single element. Now, right now, there's Apple was transitioning from the old way that we used to make apps and that storyboard, and they're transitioning to Swift UI. But I'm going to show you how to use storyboard, and most importantly, I'm also going to show you how to do things programmatically. So, again, everybody hasn't transitioned just yet, but I'm going to show you some industry standards. And so, just follow along with me in this journey, okay? And so, the very first thing that you need, I'm just going to assume that you have an iCloud account and you have an iPhone. And if you have an iPhone, then hopefully I can also assume that you have a MacBook computer. Because if you do, then this is a really simple process. If you don't, then you gotta either get a MacBook computer, or you gotta download you gotta go into Linux and download a distro that will allow you to do that. It's a really complicated process. So let's just go along as if you have a MacBook computer. And if you don't, I'm gonna make a video about how Windows users can actually make apps. It's really simple, but I'll show you how to do it. That's why you should subscribe to the channel. And so the very first thing that you need to do is go to developer.apple.com. Why are we going here? So this is where a lot of the information is for us developers. So they have documentation. They're telling you about the new things. Like I said, Swift UI, Xcode 11. You're getting the chance to see from Apple what they're going to be releasing to the regular public. And so this is a beautiful source for you. And so, you just want to go to developer.apple, go ahead and sign up your account. Just make sure that you go through a couple of the pages. It's really cool. As you can see, Apple is very detailed. So before we get started, the cool thing is all of these pictures, all of these images, it looks really nice, right? All of this stuff is actually, there's code in the background that makes all of this stuff look the way it is. So I know this isn't web development, but let me just show you really quickly. So all of these lines of code is what makes that website look so beautiful, and even some more lines of code that we can't even see. All of this stuff is what makes that website look so beautiful. Now you're probably thinking, Nick, that looks like an essay. I didn't come here to write essays. Why are you showing me that? Or you could be thinking, look, I just want to know about how to build apps. Why are you showing me websites? Well, because the entire web, all of this stuff is built by words like I just showed you. So those words translate and they basically make up the front end of what we see today. And so all of this stuff is positioned and it's all organized based on those lines that you just seen. And so in order to build an iPhone app, you now have to write the code that will drive that front end experience. And so just wanted to show you a really quick thing. And so once you have all of the things set up, you have your developer account, you're ready to go. You're like, Nicholas, okay, it's time for me to build an app. Well, guess what? Then you gotta download the integrated development environment. You see that that's one of the first things, well, second thing that you see, and so it's Xcode 11. You have to download Xcode. Now you could be saying, Nick, man, can you just get to the point? Okay, okay, I hear you. So let me just show you how you download Xcode. So you first got to go to the App Store. So once you go to the App Store, you just type in Xcode. Really simple, right? You'll see it over here. It's this right here, and you just click on Xcode. Now be aware, Xcode is a big file. As you can see, it's 7.8 gigabytes. So if you're like me and you don't really have a lot of space, you might want to make sure that you have some space. And as you can see, it's on 10.14, so just definitely make sure that your MacBook is compatible with this version. But so it's about 7 gigabytes, but you probably want more like 15, 20 gigabytes free. Again, some people don't have these problems, but I do. So, it's just something really big to say. So now once you download Xcode, this is where we're going to be writing all of that code. You download Xcode. Okay, cool. Now you're a superstar because now you have the very platform that you need to start creating these beautiful apps. Now, once you download the app, you're not going to see this whole list of stuff that, is just sitting there. As you can tell, I do a lot, and I'm not always creative. So you just hit create new project. And now these are all templates. So these are all starter code. It will basically write the starter code and the starter setups for different apps if you wanted to use these different elements. Now, we're just going to be basic and we're just going to be simple. And so the way you start simple is you just hit this single view app. Now, as you can see, you can develop for the watch, you can develop for the TV, the Mac OS. But again, we're going to be simple, right? So you just hit that. Now, you just have to create a product name. Now, I'm not the best with these names, so I'm just gonna be simple. So I'm gonna say simple project. Hey, hey, simple project, right? Now, remember how I told you you have to have an iCloud account and you have to sign up for a developer account? Well, basically, that's what your team is. As you can see, my team is just my name. Your team will probably be the same thing. Now, your organization and name, again, this doesn't matter. This is what you want. So, my organization name is Nick's Development because, of course, my name's Nick. And so, this part, this com.nixdev, it doesn't matter. It's just the way that things go. Don't worry about it. It is what it is. And as you can see, this bundle identifier is com.nixdevelopment.simple project. It's really simple, right? They're just basically taking these couple things and just laying more and more on it. All right. Now, the point that is really important. Now, we're going to work with Swift. Now, you can work with Objective C if you want. It's just an older language, and things aren't as simple as, drag and drop. But hey, if that's what you want to do, that's up to you. But we're going to work with Swift. And so make sure that Swift is clicked. Now, as I told you, Apple has two different ways that you, well, really three, but they have two different ways that they're presenting right now. Now, you can use Swift UI or you can use Storyboard. Like I told you, we're going to use Storyboard. So you just click on that. Now, all of these buttons, you don't need to check them. It's for advanced features. We're not worried about that. You just want to make your first app and put on your hat as an iOS developer. So we're just going to create it in wherever place that you want. As you can see, I have my own little folder for it. And now this is where the magic happens. So what we are looking at is this simple project right here, depending on whatever you name it. Now this is just your configuration file. I'm sorry, I got tongue tied. So this doesn't matter just yet, but I'll just quickly run through it. So again, your name of your project, simple project in my case, that bundle identifier that we just looked at, the versioning, the build, and the devices that you want to target. Again, this doesn't matter. We don't, you don't have to unclick iPad, but hey, maybe when you get more advanced, we'll walk through that. Don't worry, we're gonna go through these options a little bit more in detail, but for right now, just leave everything as it is. And so we're gonna go to this main storyboard. So we were looking at this screen, this part of the screen. Now we're going to go over here. As you can see, these are all of the files that make up your application. And so you have your configuration file, you have your app delegate file, your scene delegate file, and your view controller. Dot Swift. Now we're going to just go to the main storyboard. Let's keep it simple, right? So you go into your main storyboard. And it's like, okay, cool. Now this is just a blank screen. So what are we going to do with this? Well, like I told you, you have the ability to paint this canvas. It's kind of cool, right? You can take an idea and now you get to design that idea in a visual format that you can easily see. And so in order to do that, really simple, you're going to click this button up here. So this is where it's a library of UI elements, okay? And so you'll be able to see all of the elements that we have. And so what you want to do, now you can scroll through, you can see all of the different elements. You have steppers, page control, you have a slider. We're just going to use a UI label. And you just want to drag and drop. So as you can see, once you get in the middle, you're gonna see a blue line. You see that blue line? And so all you want to do is have it come up. Now what that blue line is doing, as you can pretty much tell, it's guiding you to the center so it snapped into place. So you want to, let's just get in the very middle. As you can see, another blue line came up. So now we're in the center of the entire view. So you can think of the view as the entire canvas or the entire page if you were writing an essay, or yeah, we'll stay at that. And so we snapped it to the middle. So now we have this label that says label. It's not really creative. Let's actually change it. So all you have to do is click on the label and then double click it. That will allow you to edit that label. And so I'm not gonna be, let's see, what should we call this label? Well, let's call it super cool project. All right. So, and now all you have to do is hit enter. Okay. So as you can see, it's a little bit off now. So let's just drag it back. And now the cool thing about iOS is you have this element right in the middle. But if you think of a cup or a container, and that's basically what the view itself is. It's a container that holds all of the items that you want to put in it. Now, the way that we make sure that it stays in the center is we have to constrain it to the center. And so, again, I'll show you more, but let's just go over here. So now you have this first button. That's the align button, as you can see. Then you have this second button. And then it says add new constraint. Maybe let's click on that. I'm just kidding. So Right now, everything is grayed out. So make sure that you click on the button first, as you can see. And now everything won't be grayed out. And we're not going to click this one. So this is the way that you can constrain it to the view. We're going to do an even simpler one. And so we're going to click on this first one right here. Sometimes I forget where they're at. Sorry about that. And so you want to click horizontally in the container and vertically in the container. Now you want to hit add to constraints. Now, guess what? You just made your first project. And so let's go over some of these different things. So you know that these are the projects in your file. You can kind of guess that this is the hierarchy of this view itself or the container. And so you have the very top level, which is the view. As you can see, the whole entire thing just got grayed. You have the view controller itself, and then you have the scene. All of this is just a hierarchy. And so over here, you have different, these basically change wherever you're at. So these are respective to what you're clicked on. So if I click on this, it's not going to change. If I click up here, it's not going to change. But if I start clicking over here and I go into a different file, as you can see, it changed. Okay. And so now you have these buttons up here. And so this button right here, it just shows the navigator. And so all it means is that it's going to close these panels. So let's play a quick game. How quickly can you close the panel? Close, open, close, open. All right. So let's close the panel, and we can close the same panel, this panel over here. That's all it's doing, is just closing. And you can bring up the panel. All right, cool. All right, so we closed the panel. So let's bring it back. All right. And let's actually get to the right file. So we're in the main storyboard. And now I think we're ready to build our first app. Now, these are the simulators. So all I'm doing is I just went over here. I clicked on these simulators. And I'm just going to go to iPhone 8. You can do whatever device that you want. You know, it's a free country. And then you just hit this play button. Do, do. Now, once it comes up, you'll be able to see. We'll see if it works. And so as you can see, this is just your status bar. It's just showing you the update or the status of the task that you are running. As you can see, I'm running 2 tasks. And so here we are. And so as you may have noticed, there is nothing. Oh, okay, it was just moving slow. All right, so with that being said, you just made your first project. So, welcome to the world of iOS development. You can now call yourself an iOS developer because you just built your very first app. So, give yourself a pat on the back. And remember, if you like the content, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how I'm doing. You know, I'm brand new to this. So, definitely would love your feedback. And of course, click the bell and subscribe because I got a couple more videos. I'm going to be doing videos every week just like this. And next week, we may go over these different elements. I may try to show you what a UI button is, what a text field, what a slider is, and how you set those things up. So definitely subscribe. Alrighty. Well, see you guys later.